Hi, Edson.
Hello.
Hi, can you tell me what business you're with?
Yeah, I'm with Capital Construction Group.
Okay,
is there a way
perfect.
to edit my name to show that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that is. I don't usually use Teams. How do I edit my name?
Oh, you need an extra person to join? Or how do you edit your name? I'm
Yeah.
actually not sure. I
Okay,
think it
yeah.
might be in the participants window that you're able to go to your settings,
Okay.
or it might be in the more, where it's the three dots. Hi, Malika. How are you?
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm also with Capital Construction Group.
Okay, perfect. So I think we'll just wait a couple more minutes for anybody else to hop on, and then we can begin with the presentation. I'm going to keep my camera off because I will be recording this session. You guys feel free to keep it on or off. It's completely up to you. Yeah, we'll get started in a couple minutes. Hi, Michelle.
Hi there.
Are you also with Capital Construction Group?
I am. Looks like we've got a full representation here.
Yep, definitely the representation. So we're just going to wait a couple more moments to see if there are any other businesses that want to hop on before we start the presentation. I do want to let you know that I am going to be recording this session, this presentation, which will go up later on our website. So if you want to keep your camera on or you want to keep it closed, that's completely up to you. Okay, I think we can get started, and if anybody joins us in later, that's also all right. So I will share my screen. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. So let me move it into share mode. Whoops, that's actually not the right one. I mean presentation mode. All right. So thank you, everyone who's on the call. Thank you for definitely hopping on and getting to learn a little bit more about how your business can participate in our next Open Streets event, which will take place on 12th Street Northeast. The event itself will take place on Saturday, August 27th. So actually 3 weeks from now, I will get into the details of the event itself in the coming slides. So quick agenda, I'm gonna just give a quick introduction about who I am and the team I work with. I'm gonna dive into what is Open Streets in general, especially if you may not be familiar with the events that the District Department of Transportation has put on in the last couple of years. I'll give a quick recap of the latest Open Streets we've had starting this summer. I'll provide some event details about what's some of the specifics of the 12th Street Open Streets event. And then I will give segue into how your business can participate, how that's looked like, what kinds of things are allowed, what things are not allowed. There's definitely plenty of images of what businesses have done in our past Open Streets events, so you can definitely use that as a reference. You can activate your storefront with either an activity or information about your business, and then I'll conclude with next steps, and also we'll be able to provide information about what the business participation form or application will look like. And we will leave plenty of time for Q&A at the end if you have any questions that come up or need clarification on anything. So I'm Andra. I'm a transportation planner here at DDOT. I do work with Carolina Buitrago. She's our current Open Streets program manager, and typically we partner with a community organization, or in this case, we are also working with a separate event planner to help put on the Ward 5 Open Streets event. So for people who may not be familiar, so we have District Department of Transportation has done a couple of open streets in the past. It first began with Georgia Avenue. So for people who are maybe aware, in the Ward 1, Ward 4 area, DDOT closed down 3 miles of Georgia Avenue and essentially closed them to cars and opened them to people to utilize the road space in a number of different ways and different activities. Particularly, they can walk and bike and scoot or roller skate and then partake in any of the programming that is active on the route. So bottom line is that we seek to reimagine streets to prioritize people over cars. For our upcoming Open Streets event, a stretch of 12th Street will be open to residents and visitors, again, to partake in safely walking, biking, skating, scooting, anything essentially that isn't a motorized vehicle. So anything smaller than a moped. So electric bike, roller skates. Open Streets also supports local businesses in the area. We give priority to businesses that are located on the route of each open street so that they can activate the public space right in front of their storefront. And I can get a little bit into what that looks like. So the latest open streets that we did have, we had a longer signature, what we call signature open streets events. We had one this past June on 7th Street Northwest. So that went through a number of neighborhoods, Penn Quarter, Chinatown, the Shaw neighborhood. We ended up closing about 1.5 miles down to cars and left them open to people. About half of attendees, they reported in our post-event survey that they enjoyed a lot of the outdoor dining or shopping opportunities, and engaged with a local business on 7th Street. So on any of the businesses that were located on the route. 3 out of 4 attendees reported discovering a new business along the route. And over half of people did report that they spent anywhere between $10 and $30 while they visited open streets that day. And kind of in a similar fashion, so we had these larger events, and then in an effort to kind of spread the benefits of open streets to other wards in DC, we are also having smaller open streets events. They are still the same idea, and the same kind of characteristics are still associated with these open streets. They're just smaller in size. So the latest open street we had was in Ward 7 on Benning Road, and we closed about a 3/4 mile stretch of Benning Road at the end of July. And similar, kind of same data that we saw on 7th Street, about 51% of participants did spend some sort of money at open streets businesses that were located on the route. And almost 70% of people did say that they discovered a new business on Benning Road Northeast. So a lot of people that are coming to our Open Streets events, they are really engaging with all the programming that the event has to offer. And they're definitely spending a lot of time on the route and checking out what kinds of businesses are located and what kinds of activities are there for them to take a look at. And the data right in the corner here, 70% of attendees do spend between 1 to 3 hours on a given corridor, and many of them partake in some of the programming that we have on Open Streets. So specifically for Ward 5, the 12th Street route is here on the right. So Ward 5's Open Streets event will take place on Saturday, August 27th, and the times will be from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So that's the time of the event, but the road closures will actually occur from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. in order to account for setup and tear down of activities and to make sure that everything is safely put away before the road gets reopened. And the boundaries between for the open street is Monroe and Franklin Streets. So it's essentially a half-mile route, and all businesses that are located within these boundaries are entitled to the public space in front of their storefront that they can engage with and put an activity there for open streets. So how can your business participate? Things that you are allowed to do, you're able to offer business specials. You can activate the public space on the street right across your business, essentially in that parking lane that's right across your business. You can do outdoor dining or a streetery, especially if you're a restaurant and you want to expand into the parking lane for that day and during those times only. You can provide games. You can have different sizes of games. In the past, we've had like giant Jenga or giant checkers or things like that you can place in front of your storefront. You can have different types of demos depending on what your business does or what kind of specialty you have. You can display your merchandise. You can also have music as long as it's non-amplified. If it is amplified and uses a speaker, there's a different type of permitting that you do need to secure on your own prior to the event. And we do have one important note that people should consider is that structures, if you do have some kind of a structure that you're bringing into to set up in your space, they can't be greater than 10 feet by 10 feet dimensions, and they also cannot be affixed to the ground. So they need to be placed easily within our 2-hour setup time on the route and then be removed by the time that the roads are open again. And that kind of jumps to the next point. So setup does begin on Saturday from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. You are given 2 hours to do that. We do work with other agencies in the city. So MPD will be there, and they will be closing the roads at 7 a.m. So if you do have some sort of supplies or something that needs to be transported with a vehicle, for example, they need to be dropped off on the route prior to 7 a.m. since MPD won't be allowing cars to go on this actual stretch during the setup and during the event. So takedown can begin really any time, but it has to be completed no later than 2 p.m. when the roads open up to vehicles again. And then some things that are prohibited, again, the amplified sound or music, that has its own complications with permitting and kind of going through that process. You can't have any of your activations on the sidewalk itself. It needs to be free of any kind of structures or activations, and it needs to be ADA compliant. And you can't have permanent structures, as we've said before. Nothing can be affixed, and none of the structures can be permanent in the public space. So here's a pretty straightforward example of this business in particular, their activation area. So you can see it's 10 feet. It's essentially the length of one parking lane or parked car. That's the space that they are entitled to put any of their own information or activity that they want to do, or anything that they suggest that needs to be approved by the Department of Transportation first. And we do keep you to these dimensions because we do have a 20-foot fire lane in the middle of the route that needs to be clear at all times in case of an emergency. So nothing beyond the 10-foot width can kind of get into that fire lane. We do have to keep that in mind. So you have up until then, and then the length is your storefront essentially. So here's another example of a business that has two businesses on each side of it. That would be its activation area, the length of the storefront, and then the depth of 10 feet, and nothing going into the actual driving lane or that needs to be where the fire lane is, which is 20-foot clearance. So here's some past open streets events, some examples of business activations that we've had in the past. We've had different, at the bottom here, you can see there's a setup with tables and chairs, especially for people who are having food or are a restaurant business or a cafe business to kind of extend a little bit into their parking space or the space that they are allotted to. We've had businesses bring face painters in the past and kind of have a table and chair set up with them so people can get free face painting and designs, and we've had henna as well. We definitely encourage like acoustic music or bands that are kind of self-contained, as you can see it with Mr. Braxton over here. And we've had drum circles. These guys up here, they've done like a drum circle, live music. There have been people that put out tables. In this image on the right, they are providing a lot of information about their business, what it is that they do, brochures, specials, things like that. And we've had another business set up like a 5-iron golf, for example. They've set up like a little try it yourself putting, a little grass, fake grass over there. There's the rounds in the past has done, for example, providing free samples or explaining like what their how their business model works or how to get people signed up. A lot of informational tables and people that are just explaining more about what the business does. In the bottom left, we've actually had like a free vegetable run where this business activation in particular was in Ward 8 in Anacostia, and they were handing out free vegetables that day and giving them to people who wanted fresh produce. And in our latest open streets, the Tsunami Hair Salon, they've kind of taken the space and put some chairs out and some tables, and they were doing, for example, they are a hair salon, so they've been doing free hair consultations for the open streets activity for their storefront. So let me see, sorry. Okay. So here's some ideas of activating the storefront with an activity. We've had crafts and games in the past. We've had businesses bring face painters, balloon artists. Sidewalk chalk is very popular. It's also very low cost to just allow people from open streets to come and draw in your area. You can have like a freestyle chalk. We've had people bring out maybe chess tables, setting up tables for people to engage and play chess against each other. Also some giant chess for people if they were interested in that. Again, you can do some kind of a business demonstration that's related. If, for example, you are a restaurant or a cafe doing like a demonstration of how to prepare a certain food. We've had drum circles, art, dance, martial arts, the bucket drum along that you've seen in the previous pictures. We've had people bring in instruments and create some bit of a musical jam. You can draw out hopscotch with the sidewalk chalk. You can bring out hula hoops, as you kind of see in some of the previous pictures. So those are kind of the ideas that you can activate your storefront with, like an engaging activity. You can also activate your storefront with just information about your business. You could provide water or free samples. You can showcase your inventory or have a different type of raffle going on. You can advertise and sell your products. You can definitely set up tables and chairs in your area for participants to sit, eat, and rest. We know that that's always something that's kind of popular if people are wanting to find an area to just kind of cool down and relax. You can do something in that fashion. We do also request and ask if you won't be open on that Saturday for the day of the open streets, you can let us know in advance so that we can use the storefront area to place other activations, since we will have other programming, both that are transportation related and health related, kind of strewn throughout the half-mile route. So do let us know if you're not able to or not interested in activating or doing something on the day of, and we'll be able to allocate that space. So in terms of next steps, we do have a business participation form that you are encouraged to fill out so that we can review what your suggested activation, whether it's an actual activity or if it's more of an informational nature, what that is. So we do have a link, and I am actually going to show you guys what the are you guys able to see this screen? Yes, so
Yes.
this is perfect. Thank you. So this is our business participation application. It's pretty straightforward. It has all the important dates and times at the top here. So the event being from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., what time the road closures are. We remind people that only businesses that are located on 12th between Franklin and Monroe are eligible to participate. And that the business participation application form is active as of today, and the deadline to submit your participation form is next Tuesday, August 16. So we have a week for that. DDOT will review and provide notification of all activation approvals by that Friday. And if you have any questions at any time, feel free to email us at our Open Streets email, which is just openstreets@dc.gov. And I will definitely write some of these as well in the chat. So it does ask for your email, your business name, who is the person of contact that will be kind of leading and in being in charge of this, the activity for the Open Streets event, what that person's email is, what is the best number to reach them. We do ask that you put in your exact business address so that we make sure that you are located on the route. We ask what hours your business will be open on Saturday, and we do recommend you stay open for the entire duration of Open Streets, especially since in general there is such an increased volume of participants that will bring foot traffic throughout the day during the event hours. So we do have a lot of people come in during the later hours, especially around noon and 1 p.m. So the form asks how you are willing to participate in Ward 5's Open Street event. So you can, again, check the box for offering business specials. You can check the box for putting an activity in your public space, or you can do it with information, and you can check all that apply if you're wanting to offer business specials, as well as offer a game or a musical circle of some kind in front of your space. You do have room here to describe what your proposed activity is. And businesses do have the option of indicating whether you'd like to be a water refill station so that people can come in and refill their water bottles at your business. You can do the same as well and let us know if you would like to be considered a restroom stop as well, and if you would allow participants to use the restrooms at your business. So that's really up to you. If you do indicate yes, you can also let us know how many bathrooms you do have available and how many of them are ADA compliant. And then finally, you can provide any other information or ask any other questions that you would like to know in order to fully participate in our next Open Streets event, or if there's any more information or context that you would like. And so that's really the application, and then you just really submit it, and we will get back. The sooner you submit the application, the sooner we can review it and get back to you regarding your participation. So whoops, that's on me. I should not have clicked that button. Yeah, so that's our business participation form. You can reach out to our email, openstreets@dc.gov, with any questions. If you have anything regarding the application form in general, or if you need anything for more clarification. So the deadline, again, to submit the application is by next Tuesday, August 16. And then we will be able to review and participate to confirm your participation by close of business on Friday, August 19th. Yeah, and that's the end of our presentation. Again, you can send all email correspondence to the following email. And we are also updating a lot of different events and different pages on our website, which is at openstreets.dc.gov. So we do have a page specifically for 12th Street, and that is where I will be adding the recording of this video. So this video session will go up there after this, after we close the meeting, so that if people need to refer to any of the information in the slides, you're welcome to do so, and then pause and take down any information that you need. Yep, so we can open it up to any questions or any comments that you guys have, and I'll do my best to answer those questions.
No questions here. Thank you for the presentation. That was very, very informative.
Yeah, thank you, Edson.
Yeah, I don't think I really have any questions either. Malika, do you?
No, the presentation was amazing. It was very informative.
Thanks.
It answered pretty much all my questions that I was curious about.
Yeah, no, definitely. So, yeah, so I guess in terms of next steps, I can provide in the chat, I'll provide the link to the business application form, and also the dates. You are welcome to reach out to our email at any time if you have a question regarding anything, or if there's maybe any business ideas or activities that maybe you didn't see here, but you want to pass it by us and see if that's something that would be fine for Open Streets for the activation. Feel free to send us an email and we'll get back to you within the business day. Yeah, so awesome. I will share this recording on our website, and I'll put down our URL again in the chat for all those that are interested and want to check it out. And you are welcome to reach out to us via email at any time. And we look forward to seeing your application. We're excited. I know it's only 3 weeks away, and it's a little bit accelerated right now in terms of getting everything together, but we are excited to see businesses participate. It's really a great opportunity because they're going to be people, they bring their families. A lot of people go in groups, and they spend a good amount of time on Open Streets and kind of checking out the different blocks, what's going on each block, what activities happening, where they can go enjoy some music. We do have different health activations, so we'll have some classes, free classes like yoga and fitness and other things that people can participate in. So there'll be a lot of people coming and going and checking out everything that the Open Streets is kind of putting on for them that day. So definitely highly encourage you guys to send in an application for your business, because we definitely have a lot of people that come out and check out all the things that are on Open Streets.
Thank you so much.
Yep, we'll definitely send in an application.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Andra.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.